Just one thing on I mean, I think it's been very interesting that the government's been able to blame planning permission for the inability of turbines to be built. And it's interesting that, for example, National Rail is immune from planning permission because of, that was the deal that they're able to do whatever they want on their own land. It's kind of interesting that, that a private company like National Rail is able to do this, but the government is not.
Well, I was just going to, on a technical point to do that, is locally, I can't remember the exact figure because I don't do an awful lot of planning down in Lewisham, but there is a limit by which, once someone's put in a planning application, that they're supposed to get their answer by. And in all the wind turbine applications, they've failed to do this by miles. And I'm wondering why that is the case, and that's something to be looked into straight away, really. But I think it's to do with the electioneering of local town councillors and not wanting to lose popularity with their electorate. And so I think there's sort of a strong lobbying. So instead of looking at the rights and wrongs of any particular issue, their own position, their electoral gains, the next election around the corner, is what they're putting ahead of our future. So we should fight that. Campaign.
But I mean, this would be an interesting campaign because to confront, because I mean, obviously local, not all local politicians, but many local politicians are intensely fearful of everything. And partly of their voters, but just generally of things that they don't know about. So if you sort of said, I've got a glowing green ball, it's okay for you can't say glowing. Like absolutely anything at all that they're unfamiliar with, they're very cautious about it. And I wonder how this kind of dialogue about wind turbines being scary and nasty. I was speaking with a comrade of ours a few days ago, and she was sort of saying, wind turbines, no, they're terrible. I wouldn't want a wind turbine anywhere near me. And I was thinking of a friend of mine in Germany. He and his father, they run a little business which they're completely failing to make any money, where they're installing small wind turbines into farms. So in Germany, you can produce your own electricity, and the national grid's obliged to buy it back from you, and they have an absolutely trouble-free existence going around, and the cows don't really seem to mind. And I work in Elephant and Castle on one of the social housing blocks down there. There's a huge wind turbine which is taller than this building, and it doesn't seem terribly noisy. I mean, it definitely makes some noise. I wouldn't want it on my roof, if I was in the flat underneath. But how has this dialogue been constructed? Who is constructing this dialogue where wind turbines become worse than the death of the planet? How's this happening?
I think it's come from a bit from like the old sort of conservationists, sort of, and the sort of I can't remember what all the different Save Our Rural Society.
Council for the Protection of Rural England.
Well, it's that.
Yes.
The RSPB, they're sinister.
Then you can go back to the fluoride.
Yes.
No, literally. There's a tradition in Britain saying no, right? And one of the famous ones in the 60s was fluoride, fluoridation of teeth, right? It actually revolves around confronting sudden change, people who what they've. But if you go, just to talk about the wind turbines, obviously if you get on the A30 towards Falmouth and on the into the Cornish southwest, there's huge ranks of turbines, And working class say, yeah, great, that's, I've got ladders and I've got electrical skills, I'll maintain those. And then there's other technology trying to think, actually, we like electricity, but we don't have that client right, that dispose of you. So there's a conflict between various capitals, if you like. And then there's the people who've retreated to the southwest because they're sort of, very well heeled and they don't want anything to change, they want to go back and live in the 50s, basically, where servants are cheap, motor cars are freely available, services are on your doorstep. It's that sort of conflict, isn't it? But having said that, if you work in planning, do you?
No, not particularly, but occasionally I have something.
Well, there used to be a planner in Birmingham, economic developer. when Longreach was proposed to be closed down some time ago, the government and city fathers had to do one step in front of that, and they proposed to create this is old industries. We want a new system of technical parks, and it's going to stretch between Birmingham and Malvern, which is the old Royal Engineering Marine, that was the RAF sort of research department. They drop Long Beach and nothing's happened. That's what happens. There's all these plans, right? There's proposals of the financial crisis in Vitimity, as the financial crisis intervened, but there's still, nothing coming out of this stuff. The councillors are quiet, but what has always struck me about this, if you're in the Green Left Alliance or something like that, and you want to develop new jobs, you should demand actually that in the areas where the people have lost jobs, if you can't save them or you've been defeated, that they start doing what they promised, start to, and that seems to be the basis for the Green campaign. They've got the plans. Where's the money coming from? And so I try and campaign and raise that question up. And what sort of science parks are we going to build? Who is going to work on them, and what are they going to do? So just basic facts.
Well, are they going to be producing socially?
Yeah, but we might use that. But as I said this morning, I've got a copy of the Sun, and they're featuring the scandal of who had the money right in Longreach was closed. The multi-millionaires had, and the politics of that. It's still got lots of heat in it locally, especially as a general election coming up. So I think there is lots of things to do, really.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm hogging the time.
No,
I'm doing this off the hoof without really writing it down.
Yeah, just about, I missed the beginning, so I don't know. It's like,
Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm George Thompson. I'm a PCS, a regional rep in London, but I don't actually get paid by the union. Just in terms of one of the things that we're getting, working in job centres and stuff, and it could be the same with public buildings anyways, is display energy certificates. And I'm just wondering if, the councils kind of get the same thing. I know it was through the British Museum's got on, British Library's got on, but certainly in job centres, in London, I've written a lot of letters to management saying, well, what's actually you doing about it? I keep saying, oh yeah, we're going to tell you next week, and then next week comes and we write another letter, and then it's basically, oh, we'll tell you next week, and they haven't done anything, to be honest. They've written a nice report, and you can go into any public building in London, government building, you can see it's C or D or whatever it is, E, and they never actually seem to got any plans to do anything with it. Now, obviously, things like double glazing, mending the roof and various other things, obviously saving saving electricity and other things, and also giving people jobs. But there isn't really any, I would be giving people jobs, but there's no push actually from anybody seemingly to actually do anything about it. So I don't read anything from anybody doing, I don't know if the Green Party or